project, and when we get to the chorus, you'll learn it right away, and then you can sing it along with me, okay? Here we go. I can always tell who's seeing me for the first time, because y'all are the ones sitting there right now that look like you're at the dentist. Here we go. Well, when I was just a boy down in Alabama, there was something that I loved to eat. We'd start with a homegrown tomato and make a sandwich that couldn't be beat. We'd take a little white bread, some call it light bread, and lay a little mayonnaise on. And if you made it just right when you took a bite, it was better than an old T-bone. Well, a few months back, I was wanting a sandwich like I had when I was a little boy. So I jumped in the seat of my beat-up Jeep and I headed to the grocery store. I came home and made that sandwich, bowed my head and thanked the Lord. But when I took a bite, something wouldn't right. It tasted like wet cardboard. What's happened to tomatoes beats all I've ever seen. The ones you buy in the store are red, but still taste green. What's happened to tomatoes? Does anybody know? They're probably genetically altered in a scientific laboratory 85 feet below in a bunker in the middle of the desert somewhere in New Mexico. That was the chorus right there, and that was y'all's cue to jump in right there and help me out. So you got a couple more chances. Here we go now that you know it. Well, I thought I'll just start my own garden and have those tomatoes homegrown. So I went and bought a brand new tiller and a trailer to haul it on. Then the man at the garden center said, "Boy, to grow them right, you can't be a miser. You need a state-of-the-art irrigation system with the very best fertilizer." So I bought calcium, magnesium, potassium, and more. I bought gardening gloves, gardening tools. I bought half the store. I even bought a high-voltage electric fence. They said it'd make a grizzly bear holler. And then the cashier said, "That'll be $6,789. What's happened to tomatoes? Beats all of her, I do declare. I didn't know to have a garden, you gotta be a millionaire. What's happened to tomatoes? Does anybody know? They're probably genetically altered in a scientific laboratory 85 feet below in a bunker in the middle of the desert somewhere in New Mexico. I didn't hear one of you. Now come on now, it's just us. It's just family. I need y'all to help me out. You got one more chance. Here we go. Well, I took care of those plants all summer, waiting on those tomatoes to be ripe. I watered, weeded, prayed, pleaded for everything to turn out right. The day finally arrived, I was so excited to have the sandwich I was dreaming about. But when I walked outside, birds started to fly. The crows had cleaned me out, except for one. There it hung, so beautiful and red. I ran back inside with tears in my eyes, grabbed some mayonnaise and a loaf of bread. I ran back to the garden as the neighbors were hollering, "Tim, what's happening, by the way?" I said, "I'm going to have me a $6,789 tomato sandwich today." And I pulled it from the vine, and right there, and made that sandwich right then and there. My ankle was an inch from that electric fence, but I didn't care, but I started to care when I touched it. Sparks were flying, I could feel the heat. And then that tomato shot out of that sandwich and plopped on the ground at my feet. What's happened to my ankles beats all I've ever seen. 'Cause now they're black and blue and red and just a little green. What happened to my tomatoes? Well, the crows know. So I'll keep eating ones grown in a scientific laboratory 85 feet below in a bunker in the middle of the desert somewhere in New Mexico. Never say never, you'll end up like me eating a whole lot of crow. In the middle of the desert somewhere in New Mexico. Don't laugh, I need skin grafts. In the middle of the desert somewhere in New Mexico. I've got one question, y'all. What in the world happened to our tomatoes?